much, Amanda Tapping. Welcome, Amanda. Well, first of all, impressive Swedish.
Hej allihopa! Tack. That's it.
And congratulations of becoming Actress Woman of the Year 2015. Can you please start by telling us what that means to you?
Wow. It was, first of all, complete surprise. I got a call from the head of ACTRA, which is the Canadian Actors Union, Television Radio Artists, saying, you've been named Actress Woman of the Year. What? So it was a complete surprise, but it was, it's been a great year, and now they've just announced the next winner, apparently. It means that because it's my union, it's how I started out. When I got my ACTRA card, which meant that I was a professional actor, it meant that I could go to my parents and say, see, I'm really an actor. Because you have to do a certain number of things to get the card. So to get the card meant a lot. And then to get, many years later, Woman of the Year, it was great to phone my parents and go, neener.
Yeah, I know you have quite a lot of awards, but we'll talk about that later. But talking about records, I know that you have appeared on screen in more Stargate productions than any other actor. How does that feel to hold such a record?
Quite nice, thank you. Wow. Wow. Really, that's cool.
Well, you've been in 220 appearances, and Chris Judge has been 212. Come on, that's worth a bigger applause.
No, it's fantastic. The thing with Stargate is that it quickly became, but a week into the pilot, we were all fast friends. By the time the pilot finished shooting, we were family. So to be with those people, to have gone on through all the experiences that we've had together, and to still be friends, and also to be a part of one of the biggest franchises in television history has been amazing. So I never take it for granted. I was just, I'm doing a lot of directing now, and I was just directing Dark Matter, which is Joe Malazzi and so it's just great to go see them, and David Hewlett's on the show sometimes, and it's like the family is still the family. No matter how far afield you go, you still feel like you're a part of the family, so that's great.
Yeah, well, while we're talking about Stargate, what made you lead the successful TV series for Sanctuary for All?
Yeah, I got asked that in the autograph line. So I got asked to do the 4th season of Atlantis, and I was not sure if that was the right move for the show, for me, but I love Stargate, and I love Joe and Paul, and I love the family, so yes, of course, I said I would do it. But at the same time, Martin Wood and Damien Kindler and I were developing Sanctuary, and had 7 people. But we developed it as a web series, and we were at the cusp of waiting to find out whether we would get financing for the rest of the series. Because television came calling, Sci-Fi called, the Canadian networks, people overseas, maybe even Sweden might have called, and said we'd like the show. And so it was at that point where if I had said yes to another season of Atlantis, Sanctuary would never have happened. So I took, as my character in Sanctuary would say, a giant leap of faith, and said, okay, I'm going to trust in this new show, this new character, this new everything venture. I was producing it with Martin and Damien. We were all directing it. It was, it was a big scary leap. And so that's why I didn't go back to the 5th season of Atlantis. I decided I'm going to see what happens with Sanctuary. And then we did 59 episodes of Sanctuary, so I'm really proud of that.
That's worth it. excuse the producer and director. Which part do you prefer?
All of the above. I love acting, it's my first love, it will always be. The producing was so new and it was a great learning curve for Martin and Damien and I. We had a fantastic time. Post-production is something I didn't think I'd love as much as I do, but I do. And directing, of course, is now sort of where my second career, if you will, is taking off. So I love all of them, but I loved the character of Helen Magnus. I loved her, and I loved being on set with Christopher Heyerdahl and Robin Dunn and Ryan Robbins and Emilia Ullerup and Agam Darshi, all the characters that, you know, Jonathan Young. I could list every actor that was ever on the show, but I won't bore you since only 7 of you know the show. But it was, yeah, I would say on that it would be the acting because I was working with amazing actors.
Cool. We're getting a question from the audience over here.
Hi, Amanda.
Hello there.
Can you tell us about Sanctuary for Kids, please?
No, I can't. No, of course I can. Thank you, Claire Cowan, for asking me about Sanctuary for Kids. Is there anyone here that doesn't know what Sanctuary for Kids is? You all know? Oh, some. Okay, so in 2009, Damien Kindler and his wife Jill Bodie and I decided that we wanted to start a charity that worked primarily, the mission statement is rescuing children in crisis. So we decided to start a charitable fund, if you will. We're basically a non-for-profit organization, but we wanted to work with small charities that had very little overhead. We pay our overhead costs so that it all filters out, right? That if you pay $1 to the charity, $1 goes to whoever we're working with. We also did it because sci-fi fans, unlike any other fandom, are incredibly generous. You just are. You're incredibly well connected. You're socially aware. You are socially connected in terms of social media, leaps and bounds ahead of other fandom. And so I thought, like, if we could harness the power of this incredible group of people who are so generous and so connected to each other, imagine what we could do. So that's how it was born, was really because of you guys. So we work with 5 different charities. Basically, we work with a group in Vancouver, downtown East Side, helping homeless teens transition into housing. That's called Watari. We work in Haiti with a small school that also does outreach in the village, and we have 3 charities in Nepal. One is Asha Nepal that rescues women who have been trafficked into sexual slavery and their children, so we work with them. And we work with Next Generation Nepal, which is rescuing children who have been trafficked. And the third group we work with, which is arguably our most important group, only in that we have the biggest connection with them, is Nepal Orphans Home, where there are now 150 orphans in 5 different houses, run by an incredible man named Michael Hess. And we do anything from providing better quality food, better quality rice. Watari, we provide Breaking Down Barriers Fund. Whatever the charity needs, we basically earn enough money each year through fundraising efforts, and then we distribute it to the charities. And so it's been going on since 2009. It's been fantastically successful. I think in our first year, we'd hoped maybe we would get 30,000, 35,000, and we got over 150,000 in donations. So we've been able to build an equity fund for NOH so they can buy land to build a house. And I could talk about this all day. I'm sure you might have other questions. But if you would please take the time to check out sanctuaryforkids.org. It's my passion. It's incredibly close to my heart. A lot of people, the fandom has taken up the mantle and has done a lot of work with us. Some of them are here today. Jen Scheffler does all our social media. Yeah, there's massive fundraising efforts by a group called Gabbett, who do a charity fundraiser every 18 months, which is one of our biggest fundraisers. So it's really the fandom that keeps things going. Bea, you're here, aren't you? And Carmen, they do fundraising of their own initiative, swims and marathons and cycling across Siberia. I don't know what you guys are up to next, but they do incredible work. So it's fan-driven, it's fan-supported, and it's incredible. So that's...
And worth an applause. How did you choose to do that
hard
performance?
work to hear you say. But anyway, it's good. Good for you. No, this was, I was part of a group in Toronto many years back that did a production of the Vagina Monologues for, you guys giggling. It's a group that it's about ending violence against women, which there might be in a minute. And so I was asked to be a part of it, and it's something that I was very proud to support. Eve Ensler, who wrote the play, does it every year. There's productions all around the world now that work to end violence against women globally.
Good. Even that is worth an applause. So many applause today. Talking about nominations, I know you've been nominated several times as an actor, and you've also been nominated for a Leo Award as a director. Which nomination do you value the most, the actor or the director?
Oh, if I were to be nominated now as a director, it would mean the world to me, because I feel like I am now doing more directing, and it's my second career and second passion. The nomination for director for Stargate was fantastic and completely unexpected, but because this is now my path, in some ways, not to say that I'm never going to be on television again, because I really, really want to. So if any of you have a show, then call me. But every time I get offered something on television, I'm busy directing. So I got to take a break somewhere. So yeah, I don't know that I could say which one means the most. It's an unfair question, man.
I know. Okay, let's go back in the history then, because I recently saw your first public performance. The commercial for Tim Hortons oat brand muffins. But I know you've done other commercials.
Real oat brand? Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm quite curious because, as I said, you've done other commercials, you've done TV, etc., etc. What do you prefer doing, and which one are you most satisfied with of all your productions?
Theater. Wow, there's something you didn't even mention.
Yeah, well, yeah, commercials, film, TV series, and theater.
Theater has an immediacy to it. It's like standing up here on stage. I'll walk off stage and I'll crumble and my tummy will get all rumbly and I'll go, is that okay? But up here right now, there's this like electricity that feels fantastic. Hi! There's amazing electricity, and it comes from you, and it feeds you, and it's very immediate, and so there's something to be said about that. I don't know if I could pick, I'm proud that Sanctuary went from a little tiny web series to the success that it was. Obviously, I'm proud of Stargate. It started my career, and it's like home. Stargate is home, and then you travel the world, and then you go home, and you travel the world. So.
Good, great answer. We got a question from the audience.
What qualities of Samantha Carter are you most proud of, and what parts do you most dislike about her?
I love her loyalty. I love the fact that she's brilliant and not afraid to show it. I love her compassion, and that she, especially early on, was willing to sort of defy orders if she really truly believed in something. So she's a woman who stands up for what she believes in. To that end, the line, somebody asked me about the line recently with Mayborn, you're an idiot 7 days of the week, why don't you take a day off? I ad-libbed that line. It wasn't in the script, and it's because I felt like, Mayborn, because I felt so passionate about her ability to be that forthright in her beliefs. So I admire that. Her luck with men, not so much. I would say she needs to get her act together a little bit there, or not, but if she's going to pursue it, follow through. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. And I wish she laughed more. Like, if she laughed as much as I laughed offset, then she'd be really happy.
Yeah, I know that Soul will see you as Mother Superior in the production Held in Handbag.
Yeah, that was fun.
And you have started directing The Magicians.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the upcoming projects and what can we expect?
Okay, well, Hell in a Handbag, I have a very small part. I play a Mother Superior, and the best thing about it was I had the full habit, and everyone was really, really polite to me. So that was great. No, I worked with some friends, and it was Martin Cummings, who has been on Stargate, and he approached me, and he just gathered a group of his friends and did this really cool little movie. And it was very fun. So, that is coming up at some point. What's coming up for you guys now? I don't know if you get this. There's a new series that I did called The X Company, or X Company. Yeah. Which I'm super, super proud of. I directed in their second season. I was in Budapest in the fall, late summer, early fall, shooting it. I did 2 episodes for them. It's a World War II spy thriller, Nazi-occupied France. It's really cool. So that's coming up. I think it airs in Canada next week. Next week, yeah. My first episode. The Magicians, which is a super cool new sci-fi show. I think, yeah. Okay, so it's based on Lev Grossman's novels, and he's amazing, and he's fully sanctioned this series, even though it's a bit of a departure from his books, but he's very happy with it. Great actors, really, really sexy show. I think what's happening with Sci-Fi, the network, is that they're actually coming back to their roots and focusing on the shows that their audience wants to watch. So that's a good thing. But Magicians is like, I don't even know how to describe it without it sounding... It's a sexy kind of Narnia, Harry Potter for adults-ish thing. I know what it is. So Dark Matter, I did the season opener of Dark Matter this year, so that was really fun. And I'm doing Van Helsing, which is a new series from Simon Barry, who did Continuum, Neil LaBute. Chad Oakes is the producer from Fargo and Hell on Wheels. And so I'm doing 4 episodes for them. I was originally doing the 2-part finale, and now I'm doing 2 more when I get back. So that's super cool. And then after that, I'm doing the finale of Travelers, which is a new show for Netflix, created by Brad Wright. Right? Stargate Brad Wright. That should get bigger applause. We're going again. Okay, roll cameras and action. Okay, so it's a new series from Brad Wright. So there's that.
Cool, and we got another question from the audience.
Hi. Someone told me earlier today that you're a big fan of Doctor Who.
Doctor Who?
I think it was you even. If you got the chance to be a companion on Doctor Who, how would
Companion?
A companion?
What about the Doctor?
I'll change my question. If you would become Doctor Who, the Doctor, what kind of doctor would you be and what clothes would you wear?
Ooh. Because that's a big part of it, right? Not a fez. I'd like a fedora. I don't know, I'll have to think about that. I haven't gotten to the wardrobe, I've just gotten to being the Doctor. I would also happily be a companion. I'm a big Doctor Who fan. I'd also like to direct it, so there you go. My daughter, Olivia, who's 10, really is the one who got me into it. Like, I like Doctor Who. She loves Doctor Who. So yeah, well, but I don't know. I'll have to get back to you. But I think I'd be from a different period, like a little further back. Not the 60s, like I mean further back. Although that would be funny if it was like some hipped up Doctor Who. It really wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. I could be Capaldi's companion. And then he could take over my body and then I'd be the new Doctor. That'd be cool. Right?
Well, we've got another question from the audience up there. Hi.
Hi.
I was wondering if you meet with former co-stars of Stargate, like Richard, Michael, and when the last time did you meet with them?
Michael and I just saw each other before I left. Our kids go to the same school, so we see each other all the time. And I just talked to Rick, not last week, but the week before. We had like my daughter takes this course, and while she's taking this course on Thursday evenings, I do all my phone calls and emails, so I called Rick, and that was like an hour and a half of talking to Rick, which is great. He's awesome. So yeah, we are in touch. You know what? I'm gonna. Yeah. Because everyone else has, except for him. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So I'll call him when I get back, and I'll tell him. It's very nice. He's fantastic. He's terrific. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately we're running out of time.
What?
But before,
It's like-
time really do fly, doesn't it?
Yep.
Well, before we end, I'm curious to know if there were any special pranks during filming that you could share with us.
Oh, there's hundreds of them. We don't have enough time to talk about all the pranks that are done while filming. Stargate was often just the boys trying to make each other laugh, or me laugh. I'm the first to break on set, which means I'm the first to start laughing. And then the boys will slowly lose it, but I will laugh to the point where I have tears streaming down my face. So by, probably 3 weeks into season 1, they got waterproof mascara for it. They realized this could be a problem if we go more than one season. So I think I should have bought stock. Chris used to do things like tie people to chairs. He duct taped us to chairs. Rick would do this thing where he was off camera and he'd just do these like little smirky, kind of sexy grins while you were trying to talk really serious techno-babble at him, but he'd be right beside the camera going, be like, oh! How can I explain wormholes when you're looking at me like that? Yeah, there's a lot of just cracking each other up, making each other laugh. That's really, I think that's why the series lasted so long. I think that's why we all lasted so long. It's because we could laugh, and we laughed every single day. So it would be hard to be specific. But
Well, I thank you for sharing the laughing.
yes, we did laugh. We laughed a lot. I don't know if you could tell.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately we have to round up here, but please, a big applause for Amanda Tapping.